Spacey Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria. And we were hanging out with Marple. I forgot the voice I gave her already. It's literally only been like 2 days. I got, this is what happens, but like, whatever. I'm trying. We'll work on, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. At least I'm not reading it like this. Like, I can at least do something. So, you know what? Suffer and deal. I don't know. I'm kidding. Anyway, so, yeah. Dollface McBugeyes over here. Was just hanging out with her. So, Marple, where are we?
This is the Academy dormitory for girls. A friend of mine lives here, Angelica. She doesn't attend any special courses as we do. She's taken a leave of absence in the past on account of illness, but it's become more frequent of late. This time she's been absent for 2 weeks straight.
Marple sighed as she looked up at the dorm. Again, I can't fucking remember the voice I gave her, so I'm just like, whatever.
I visited her last week, but I've heard she isn't getting any better, so I wanted to visit her again.
As any friend would, naturally. Now I know why Marple appeared so troubled before. I recall what Marple was like in the classroom.
And then shall we go see her?
A surprise was upon us the moment we went to enter the building. Sorry. The student tried to run away, but Marple grabbed him by the arm.
Do you always respond so flippantly when storming headfirst into a lady? Where are your manners?
I am sorry, miss, but I am in a hurry. He's cute. Why can't we date him? We can't. He's not one of our boyfriendos. I don't think so. I don't see him in the characters. He's just random dude. He shook away her grip and was quickly off before she could say more. Side characters I should give like really terrible fucking like Irish accents and like just random fucking accents and it's like just all sorts of the wrongness. I don't know why I don't do that in games because I think about it every time and I'm like, well, it's too late. Shit! Who was gonna get the really bad Irish accent? I would have had to have been Watson. I feel like we could have. Oh, golly, I sound like a leprechaun. Oh, I gotta drink more when I start games. Like I literally have to get a little like half in the bag. So then when I start a game, then I start doing the accents and it's like, well, now I gotta stick with them instead of like halfway through. Anyway. Who was that? He seemed to spring out from the dorm.
I'm not sure. Spacey, are you all right?
Me? Oh, yes.
Good. If you were to get hurt, people might say it's my fault since I asked you to accompany me.
How should I read her being more concerned for that than me?
Well, shall we?
Oh, wait, Marple! She's calling us Spacey, and we're calling her Marple. Can we just call her whatever the fuck her name was? Sarah? Was it Sarah? I think. Anyway. I followed her into the dorm.
It's lovely to see you again, Sarah.
Sitting in bed and wearing a thick coat over a nightgown was a young girl. A sparkling smile awaited us the moment she saw her guest was Marple.
No need to get up, Angie.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't believe my eyes.
She looks like death. Angelica gasped as she spotted me behind her friend.
Allow me to introduce you to a young girl from my class. Her name is Miss Whitley, isn't it? I saw you in the paper. It said you're Her Majesty's detective.
That's me, yes. Spacey will do. You know who I am, then?
Yes, very well. I asked Sarah about you, but she only mentioned you were schoolmates. I didn't think she was paying me any mind. Oh, thank you, Sarah. She just happened to come with me, that's all. Now don't be shy. I know you brought her for me. It's exciting to meet a girl of such celebrity.
She literally looks like death warmed over. Now, I wouldn't call myself celebrated. Celebrity? Even my ears were burning from embarrassment.
I'm ever so delighted to meet you, Spacey. I'm Angelica.
Oh, well, Angelica, the pleasure is all mine. Her physical condition made it so that smiling took great effort, but smile she did. For my part, the sight was a rewarding one.
Oh, I envy the two of you. I've had to stay in bed for quite some time, you know, so I only get to see my roommate and my doctor. And Sarah, of course. That's it? I thought a student from the choir recently visited.
What makes you think that? Her grin shifted to one now possessed by nerves, though she did attempt to mask the change. Oh, the boy visited? Damn, girl, what are you doing in the dawns? Anyway, what the fuck is going on over here? It's like weird. Anyway.
When I visited you last, you never rose from your bed. But this time, well, you were sitting up and you were wearing a pretty nightgown. And there's dirt on the floor near the window that's roughly the size of a footprint. You're head of the choir, I believe, so I thought someone from there had visited you after school. Well, I can only assume the dirt is from my flatmate's shoes. I was thirsty, so I rose to put the kettle on, but when she returned, I asked if she could make me a cup instead.
Doubtful, the way Angelica's pupils danced said there was a different story. Something is certainly going on with Angelica. Oh god, we're gonna have to do this mystery. First we found a cat, and now we've got to like lure out that this girl's got a secret boyfriend. I mean, do we get some real mysteries going on here? This is some like babysitter club kind of like mysteries. Like or later on after the babysitters club, they came out with the Babysitters Club Little Sisters books, which were like the younger version, so like
high school, middle school, like when you read like the Babysitters Club, and like the early middle school, like elementary school was when you read the Babysitters Club Little Sisters, like books, like whatever.
It's this kind of bullshit. Like that's what I feel like we're doing right now. Like, let's go on the hunt for the missing cat. It's probably in the bush. Look, it's in the bush. Okay. Like, did you look in the tree? Oh, look, it's in the tree. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's fun, but it is like, I know we're gonna have big mysteries, but it is just really funny that they throw these like random little side mystery things in here constantly. Like, who has this many mysteries in their life? I know we're at detective school. We've only been here for 2 days, and this is like going to be our third mystery we're going to solve? Why? This is ridiculous. Oh. I get it. I know. It was like if it were an anime, every episode would be like, solving a new mystery. It's like fucking Scooby-Doo. I love that shit, but it was always some dude in a mask, but still. It was never like, we gotta find the missing cat. It's like, well, the cat was probably stolen because it had a jeweled collar, and the jewel on the collar was actually a key to a thing, and it would have saved the town, but this guy didn't want to save the town because he knew there was oil underneath it, so he dressed up like a ghost, and it was Mr. McGregor, like, in a ghost mask. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were at least some kind of convoluted plot, not like, oh, the cat is in the tree, and I just didn't look up. Anyway.
My apologies. I must have been confused. That must be it. You've always been one to come up with silly theories. But I do miss the choir very much. I hope I can attend school again soon.
The air around her became heavy with a lonely gloom as she mumbled.
Angie, are you feeling unwell? A bit nauseous, yes. My stomach hurts as well, and I still don't have an appetite. Why not see another doctor? You too. Pardon me if this sounds too direct, but I refuse to change doctors.
Your doctor's poisoning you. I'm just guessing.
I've not heard reputable things about that man. Oh, those rumors! All very exaggerated. My lord, am I ever blessed. My flatmate fusses as much as you do. She'll bake my favorite snacks to boost my appetite, but I always end up eating so little.
She's poisoning you? Someone's poisoning her. I don't know.
It must feel awful to not be able to indulge in your favorite snacks.
The very thought depressed me. I love how she's a fucking eater.
Snacks? You ought to start eating something more nutritious. What if I bring you vegetable soup on my next visit? Well, if it's your home recipe, it might taste delicious, I suppose. Next time, then. For today, you may indulge in my baked meringues.
Marple, against her scoldings for better food, was swift in producing a carefully wrapped packet of her own sweets.
Can't wait! Oh, I wish my appetite were up for it now. But I shall eat some later, I promise.
A vigorous knocking on the door interrupted us. It opened immediately after. Angie, I've made you some tea. You have guests? The girl who entered the room twinkled with a question in her eyes. Oh, it's a girl. Okay. She just has short hair. I saw the bow tie around her neck, and I was like, because at first when she came, I was like, I made you some tea. I was like, is that supposed to be her roommate? But then I'm like, well, she was thinking this is a girl with short hair, but she looked like she had a bow tie on, which, I mean, I guess we're all wearing bow ties, so maybe I shouldn't have. It was just assumed. Okay, anyway.
You have excellent timing, Elisa. My friends have come to see me. That's right. You weren't here during Sarah's last visit. Angie, is this your flatmate? The one and only. I'd like you to say hello to Elisa. She's in the choir with me.
She's poisoning you.
It's nice to meet you. Sarah Marple, this girl here is in my class, Spacey Whitley. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard plenty about you from both Angie and the paper, Spacey. Oh, how lovely. Elisa, Sarah brought some baked goods. You can have some if you'd like. And I do. I'll go make some more tea.
In no time at all, the four of us were intimately gathered with cups in hand.
By the by, Elisa is learning to make scones and jam. Her clotted cream is the best I've ever had. Its almond flavor complements the scones perfectly, and you won't get anywhere flattering me so much, Angie. Take care not to spoil her, even if she is sick. I would never. I've been sure to prepare healthy meals like vegetable soup and porridge and such. She despises them, but I never stop nagging her till she's eaten all her carrots and celery. Oatmeal, too. Oatmeal's good if you put peanut butter in it. Yuck! I never forget to take my medicine either.
Was it your doctor who advised you to watch what you eat?
Yes, Dr. Foe comes to visit me from his clinic near the academy since the walks have been making me faint. I've been seeing him since I was small.
Fow? Dr. Fow?
Even when it's so close? How terrible. I do hope this will pass soon. I would love that. I want to practice singing for the Christmas concert, and since I'm head of the choir, I'd like to see how the other students are faring. If only you were more dedicated with anything else as much as you are with the choir. Come on, that's not a nice thing to say about a sick person now, is it? Tee. Tee. She might have a point. Regardless, I wish you well enough to be able to attend choir practice soon.
Marple grew much lighter, much friendlier as she conversed with these girls. In truth, visiting a girl's dormitory was a first for me, as was visiting a friend's bedroom. I became distracted by nearly everything around me, head turning this way and that to inspect what precisely made this place feel like Angelica and Elisa's. Excuse me, Angelica, would it bother if I were to browse through your room? Would it be a bother?
By all means, browse. Elisa, what do you think?
I don't mind.
Thank you.
I just want to be fucking nosy. All right. I approached the two trophies that I noticed on the shelf as soon as I stepped in the room. Each one was labeled Silver Prize Spring Bird Award. May I ask what these trophies are for?
Elisa and I won those after we placed second in a contest. It was during our first year here, if I recall. It must have been quite the year. I'd like to hear more about it when you're better.
I wondered yet again before catching something else on the shelf. There was a tiny brown bottle with a label I'd never seen before. Han Sashin To and Saiko Keishi To. What's this? Hange. Sashin To and Saiko Keishi To.
Find something interesting?
Perhaps I'd been staring too intently. I hadn't a clue Marple was watching me till she spoke. I was, wondering what this is. I plucked the bottle from the shelf and showed it to her.
And that's my medicine. My doctor recently prescribed it to me. It's a Chinese herbal medicine, I suppose. I've been told it was specially blended for me.
And I read it like I would have read it in Japanese. But I don't know, maybe it's pronounced the same way, but whatever. So that's what it is. I wonder how it compares to Western medicine. I went to read the label. Bao Clinic. Same as her doctor's name she mentioned earlier.
It smells awfully funny, but it isn't so bad. Well, Angelica?
Very suddenly, Angelica was attacked by a fit that refused to stop. Breaths between grew shorter and shorter, rousing panic for her company. Angelica!
Elisa, call the doctor. Right away.
Our fears worsened when Angelica slumped over. Convulsions, vomiting, slipping in and out of consciousness. Instinct told me that something wasn't quite right as we left Angelica's room. Marple, regarding Angelica's symptoms... Marple?
Oh, I was lost in thought. Oh, what was it you said? She remained in a daze as we walked back to the academy. Well, something struck me regarding Angelica's symptoms. Do you know the name of her illness? As far as I'm aware, no one knows. Her symptoms are so distinctive, and still no one's figured it out. But in recent years, her condition was beginning to stabilize, and she was finally starting to get better. And she was taking less medicine and was finally starting to live a normal life. So why? Her sadness was so apparent that my heart was roused. I want to help her. I'm going to check something about her symptoms. It's only a hunch, but the book Holmes showed this morning has found itself at the back of my mind. You're a kind girl, Spacey. And so is she. Marple was grateful to me, but her kindness, hidden beneath layers of those dullish features, which expressed little on the surface, was the inspiration that made me want to be kind. But she's in the investigator club too, whatever, the detective classes, so shouldn't she be like, it sounds like she's being poisoned? She should have, it's hardly trouble at all for a new friend. It's late today, but we don't have any classes tomorrow. How would you like to do some investigating with me? I'd like that. Do you have a place in mind? I'm hoping to dive into some research. Well, questioning. So I should like to see Holmes and Watson at their Baker Street flat.
Yay! Visiting the boys at home.
They'll likely have some thoughts on the matter.
Whom do I wish to speak with? We want to speak with Holmes. Come on.
I'd like Holmes's opinion. He was the one who brought all that material to class, and no one else could best share his thoughts objectively.
They don't give you time to think. I don't like the tick, tick, tick. I don't know! Shit! I don't like that. Like, obviously in this, you get points with Holmes, you get points with Watson. We've already gotten points with Holmes. I guess that's kind of where we're going, unless drastically other shit changes it, but... I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Marple nodded in agreement. Very well. Then let's meet along Baker Street tomorrow.
I don't remember the voice I gave her in the last part, and I really don't, and I know this isn't it, but we'll just adjust until we fit.
Because she can't have a cutesy voice, because she's a very odd person. She's very odd, so she needs a very odd voice.
I don't know.
221B Baker Street was the address for Holmes and Watson's shared flat.
Okay, so they basically just moved into their dad's old fucking shit. Wow.
They were one of several within a charming 3-story brick building, which Marple and I now stood before. What a handsome little flat! And they've even room to spare to make it their office. I've heard rumors that the landlady here is a young girl.
Young? Oh my god! That's who Abigail Hudson is. I'm so fucking stupid. Wasn't Mrs. Hudson the name of the woman who was their actual landlady in the fucking Sherlock Holmes books? Wait. Or am I just now imagining it because I know the character Abigail Hudson when she said a young girl and I was like, oh, it's supposed to be her daughter. Fucking hilarious. I love this. This is hilarious. Anyway.
Does that bother you? No, it would never. Never. You certainly gave the impression that it did. Here we are. Oops! Marple made such a sudden stop I nearly bumped into her. Conveniently, she ignored my clumsiness and knocked on the door. It only took a moment for the door to open a pinch.
Yes, what are you two doing here?
Good afternoon, Holmes. I have something that requires asking, so I came here with Marple.
Does it have to be now? You can wait till Monday, Shirley. I'm busy.
I'm not Shirley, and no, I can't wait. Please, Holmes, there's a case I'd like to solve, and your input would be quite valuable to me. For a short time, Holmes eyed myself and Marple back and forth. He then sighed his common, exasperated sigh and opened the door to allow us in.
So what is it? I'll make it short and simple. She had convulsions, vomiting, and slipping in and out of consciousness.
Do you know of any illness which would cause all those symptoms at once?
I love the fucking wallpaper. I want that fucking wallpaper. It looks... I bet you anything it's flocked. Flocked wallpaper. I know people hate wallpaper, but like flocked wallpaper, so you can just like sit there and stroke your walls and it's like, oh, I just fucking want flocked wallpaper so bad. Anyway, I don't know. There aren't any as far as I'm aware. No, it won't do to rush to conclusions. Adams-Stokes syndrome is similar, but only similar, not exact. It wouldn't result in vomiting. If I'm honest, I find it difficult to think of anything that should cause all three. Does she have any clear injuries?
None that I'm aware of.
I see. What could it be then? Poisoning! Holmes paced around the room, one hand stroking his chin in deep thought. He then stopped and removed the research materials he had presented the day before from the shelf. It reminds me more of drug poisoning than illness. Told you. Holmes continued as he leafed through the pages. If it is indeed poison, several things could fit. Apricots, cowbane, poison nuts. Is it aconite? I don't know. Anyway. Conium? And conium. I don't know. I'm just making up shit because I can't. I don't know. Fucking A. Probably Latin names, so it's probably pronounced weird. But anyway, they're the most likely candidates. But I can say apricots, so I'm good about that. A variety of plants and their toxic symptoms were listed on the pages. Well, just to be certain, how simple would it be to mix one of those plants with medication? Very simple if one has knowledge and skill. Like a chemist, perhaps.
And that's my medicine. My doctor recently prescribed it to me. It's a Chinese herbal medicine, I suppose. I've been told it was specially blended for me.
Fao Clinic. Same as her doctor's name she mentioned earlier.
You're such a dear, Holmes. I'll bring you some delicious sweets next time.
He loves us. Anyway, I'd rather you not. Unlike you, I don't have any interest in... Let us be off, Marple. Like how we don't fucking listen to him. He's like, I don't want to... Okay, bye. And he's like, listen to me. No, shut up. I love it.
Right then. We'll see you in class, Holmes.
I left with Marple in a hurry. Our next destination was to be Fao Clinic. As Angelica described to us the afternoon before, it was but a short walk from the academy. Yes, may I help you? The doctor who greeted us was so ordinary in appearance that he was more dubious than unremarkable. Suspicion was weaved into his coat, which was wrinkled, and mistrust was the brush to his slovenly hair. So poetically written, I love it. The books stacked into mountains within the room behind him reinforced the impression of a man who cared little for company. Something told me to stay wary. I just love how it's written. It's so good.
You are Angelica...
My honey's doctor, correct? My honey's doctor? Whatever. Yes, I am. What of it?
I'm a friend of hers, and if it isn't any trouble, would you tell me more about the medicine you prescribed?
Miss, she's my patient. Can't hand her chart over to any stranger who comes in asking. And her condition is baffling me as much as it likely baffles you.
I'm not a stranger. As I said, I'm her friend.
And as I said, she's my patient. You aren't the first to make a clever excuse to get what they want from me. I'm her mother, I'm her lover, or I'm her pet, or whatever they please. I'm no fool. I'm her pet. Wow, props to the person who tried that and thought it would work. Almost is like, I'm her pet. Like, are you wearing a... Oh, you're that kind of... Oh, you're into that kind of shit? Phony play? You're pretending you're her whore? Okay, I get it. Sure. All right. Whatever floats your boat, people. I don't know of anyone who would call themselves her pet. But we are... She was on the same page as me. She's like, I don't... you know what? Never mind.
But we earnestly wish to save her, Doctor. Would you please help me? For this ring's sake.
It was time to reveal the ring I had been given by Her Majesty, but it had less of an effect than I prayed it would. He merely stared in silence, waiting for me to speak again.
I beg you.
Are you giving that to me? No?
You misunderstand. Her Majesty the Queen gifted me the... But you must know. So this doesn't make sense. I was told that anyone would help me if I presented the ring.
What's that? You are right in the head. I'm afraid I don't provide treatment for mental illness.
Excuse me, but do you happen to read the paper at all?
I never read such cheap entertainment. Baseless gossip, every word. Can't trust it.
That solves it. Spacey, I fear the request means nothing for those who haven't seen it in writing. And that is the only place I recall her asking everyone to help you. That's true. I read it there also, but even without it, he's being unreasonable.
Doctor-patient confidentiality, bitch! He's not being unreasonable. Of course, back in the day, maybe that didn't exist, but I'm just saying, like, I get their point. Like, he's being unreasonable. We asked politely, but I'd be kind of fucking pissed if somebody rolled them. Hey, so could you just give me all of her records? Here you go! Medical malpractice probably didn't exist back in this time, but I'm just saying. Like, shit! It's a fast way to get your ass sued. But he's a shady doctor, so I mean, probably didn't have records.
And how is there someone who doesn't read the paper in this day and age? Is he
Unliterate? Illiterate?
Spacey, did you mean to ask if he was illiterate? Right.
That's the one. Who's illiterate now? Like, is he unliterate?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Like, let's not be completely fucking stupid, Spacey. Jesus.
I don't suppose you've been using the wrong word till now. Well, yes, it appears I have.
How silly of me. God damn it, Pendleton. Nothing else to ask. Off with you then. I've work to do.
Against our best efforts, the door had been slammed in our noses before we managed to step inside.
Well, this didn't go as I planned.
I'd rather not give up just yet.
Listen, we should ring for the yard and have him arrested.
Don't be so dramatic, Spacey.
But doesn't this upset you?
Of course it does. But being upset does nothing to help. So, stay.
Oh, dash it! I'm not a puppy!
It was a joke, dear. Don't take it to heart. If you'll hear me out, the doctor has no motive for poisoning Angelica. One can surmise he's experimenting with new medicines on his patients, but that's unlikely.
You're right. Were he doing such a thing on all of his patients, he would have been caught much earlier. Already in prison, even.
And then what do you make of Angie's condition with that in mind, Spacey?
That her roommate's doing it? Because she wants to be in charge of... I think, as we began to give more serious thought to the issue, we ran unexpectedly into someone we knew.
Oh, why hello, Miss Whitley, Miss Marple. Oh, what brings you here?
Lupin, we could ask you the same. Again, I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce the E in because he's John Lupine. Are we supposed to say it that way? And then he's Jean Lupin when he's in his flamboyant gentleman thief thing. But I don't know. So someone's probably going to tell me, but obviously I've recorded this before you started seeing the part. So like if there's like some kind of a unanimous consensus, we'll either, halfway through the game we'll change it, or fuck it, we're just calling him Lupin, because, hello, he's fucking Lupin. It doesn't matter. Anyway. Though there were no classes today, he still wore his academy uniform.
This is a clinic, isn't it? So I came to see my doctor.
Are you sick then?
I feel nauseous and my stomach hurts. The clinic here is close to the academy, so it's a convenient place to visit whenever I have a problem. I was already close by since I had to go to the library, so I thought I might as well come here.
It's gonna be fun because he's got two fucking personalities. He's gonna have two voices, so.
His symptoms are similar to Angie's. How do you feel? Much better after my consultation with Dr. Fao.
If you don't mind my asking, what medicine did he prescribe?
My medicine? I don't mind. A moment, please.
Lupin retrieved a small brown bottle from his pocket. The label read, Hange Sashinto and Saiko Keishito. It's the same one.
You're right. It's just like Angie's.
Lupin, are you absolutely certain you feel better? Have you ever felt faint after taking that?
I'm not sure I understand. Why are you so worried about this?
Because I love you. Well, at some point I will.
And I've been feeling wonderful. It's a miracle. How much better I've felt since taking that medicine.
The answer took us both by surprise.
Whenever Dr. Fao prescribes medicine, he gives each of his patients their own bottle. I always have this one with me when I go to him.
Then Angelica has her own personal bottle as well.
I still haven't a clue as to what his motives would be, but if there's even a slight possibility, we must investigate. Well, let's look at the contents of her bottle. Even if it turns out to be nothing, we'll have narrowed down the scope of our work. By the way, Lupin, what made you so sick in the first place? Since I'm a student and live alone, my landlady invited me and a few other students to her flat for a homemade meal. I began to feel nauseous after dinner. It turned out to be the mushrooms from the mountains she used in her cooking. You didn't make a mess of things again, did you? Incur her wrath in some way? I did no such thing. No, I wasn't the only one to fall ill. She and the other students did too. It was a disaster.
It's gonna be really fun because we're gonna give him when he's Lupin, the gentleman thief Lupin. We're giving him the Lupin voice treatment, so it's gonna be really fun. I love it. I love him so much because he's got two fucking personalities. It's gonna be great.
We should run along and see Angie. Thank you, Lupin. Stay well. Oh, thank you, I suppose.
And then I take off my glasses and I'm the dashing gentleman thief. I bet you didn't see that coming, did you? He's gonna be fun. He's gonna be a fun one. As it had only been a day since Angie collapsed, Marple was gentle when she knocked on the door. Neither of us wished to disturb her unduly if she was able to get some sleep. The door slowly opened. Elisa was on the other side. Good afternoon. I have something I'd like to borrow. May I step inside? Certainly. Marple was not nearly as gentle in thought with Angie's roommate, having forced the girl aside quite intentionally as she entered. I was able to spot Angelica sleeping through the gap in the doorway. To my relief, she looked at peace. I entered. The first thing to grab my attention was a tiny hard shell, barely noticeable with it being the size of one's thumb, on the ground just before the shelf. I don't know what about it intrigued me so, but intrigued I was, and so I plucked it and examined it closely. What was this? Why did it feel so out of place? Because she's obviously allergic to some kind of nuts, and that girl's poisoning her. That's all I'm saying. And why am I so bothered by it? Look! She'd be really I'm just, obviously, it's supposed to be a clue, but otherwise she walks in and she goes, there's a shell on the ground. Why am I so bothered by this? You wouldn't want to come into my apartment and be like, what the fuck is all over the floor? It's all the seed from the bird. But, so maybe Elisa is just a messy eater. Spacey, let's go. Oh, are you finished? We can leave now, yes. I've enough of it for us to examine. Marple showed me a small bottle. Come, I'm leaving. Wait, Marple! Just where do you mean to examine it? Isn't it obvious? We have need to a madman. We have need to a madman obsessed with data and a doctor in the making. Holmes and Watson, then? Marple moved at an admirable speed for having such short legs. I was not tall myself, but it took considerable work on my end not to be left behind. We both stopped upon hearing a quarrel in the distance, however. Oh! Is that boy dating both of them? Don't lie to me, Rufus. You're horrible. How could you be seeing two girls in the club? There is a line and you've crossed it. I tried to look the other way for a clubmate, but I can't do that anymore. Oh, that's a girl. Okay. A girl... Sorry. I can't do that anymore. Whatever. A girl was shouting at the top of her lungs with fury from the courtyard. It should have said choir girl or like girl, so we knew. I don't know. That sounds rather serious. We pricked our ears and listened. Okay. So that boy's seeing both of them, and Elisa... See, I told you Elisa was poisoning Angie. I figured it was just because she wanted her place in the choir, because she's like, oh, Angie's the leader of the choir, and I'm in the choir, and I want to be the leader of the choir, and if she's sick, then I can be the leader of the choir, but it's really more like, if she's sick and maybe dead, then I get Rufus. What kind of a name is Rufus? Anyway. Elisa and Angie? You see them both at the same time, and now Angie's ill, and that's too much stress for the poor girl. Hardly. Her doctor is a quack. If she'd gone to a real doctor, she wouldn't have... They were talking about Angie. I stepped forwards with a sudden vigor to hear more. Marple! She had seized me by the arm before I could get far. Don't, Spacey. What? Why? Her stare was so piercing that I couldn't move even if I wanted. Realizing she must have something in mind, I acquiesced without protest. Yet it wasn't long before we were noticed. I haven't done anything wrong. I've faithful... He looked directly at me. You're... Oh, I recognize you. Ah, sorry. It was the same boy who fled from the girls' dormitory just yesterday, and he made to flee the scene once more. Wait, did you come here from the... Hold on a minute. He hastily cut me off. Oh, you two know one another? Or is it that you're seeing 3 women? No, please listen. It's a misunderstanding. Curious as I am by this affair, would either of you mind terribly if we asked about something else? We're in the midst of an investigation. If we can find the right answers, we might be able to save a friend of ours. Of course not. You're Sarah Marple and Spacey Whitley from the detectives course, I think. What would you like to know? Okay, so not everybody in this school is in the detective course. Okay, so there's detective courses in the... Okay, because I was like, is every fucking person here a detective? Because, I mean, that's just not a lucrative career. It's like, there's like a bazillion fucking detectives, and you're like, yeah, there's a million of us. What are you going to do? I mean, like, you gotta have more than one in the town. You can't just... Sherlock would be too Herlock would be too fucking busy if it was just him, but I'm just saying. You have, like, a whole school... Like, when you go to, like, a private school or anything, you got, like, what, a couple hundred people in the school. Let's just say. Small school. Okay. They all detectives? That's a lot in one fucking area. But normally you have, like, okay, it's a couple hundred people. There's got a bunch of different jobs, right? Just saying. Anyway. What can you tell me about Angelica, my honey? About Angie? I feel like I'm not the right person to ask. He is the... If I may speak, I'm not seeing anyone else. The other student, wholly the skeptic, watched him with a fuming scrutiny that hoped to counter any word that stood out to her as fiction. He continued with caution. I have a serious relationship with Angie. I've been visiting her in her room because I've been worried about her. So you really are the one who visited Angie right before we arrived. But boys aren't allowed in the girls' dorm. If someone were to find out, he would be expelled without delay. So that lie from Angie about having no visitors was meant to protect you now, was it? Did Elisa know that you were visiting Angie? She did. She caught me once when I was there. I'd asked her to keep it a secret and she promised she wouldn't tell anyone. So that's how it is. I'm not seeing both of them. I swear it on my life. He couldn't have been making a stronger effort to plead his innocence. I admit that I was seeing Elisa before, but we aren't together now. In fact, she's been very supportive of me and Angie. No, she's not. She's trying to... I love the fact that you two are together. That's so great. Oh, Angie died. Do you want me to comfort you, Rufus? That's all I'm saying. There are days when she brings homemade scones and jams to everyone in the club. I don't have a poor word to spare for her, really. I can tell that both Angelica and Elisa are precious to him. If you have a way of helping Angelica, then please, do what you can. Of course. Thank you. Rufus left the courtyard. I understand that he cares for both of them. Being equally kind isn't kindness in and of itself. Would you be willing to share anything more about Angie and Elisa? What else? Oh, well, they've been close friends as long as I can recall. It never crossed my mind that they would both fall in love with Rufus. Angie is head of the choir and is most strict with practice, but she always lights up like a child the moment Elisa comes in with all of her baked goods. Rufus mentioned the baked goods as well. Scones and jam, was it? What kind of scones does she make? She baked quite a spread in the past, but the most common are either plain or with raisins. Our jam is strawberry or marmalade, both oh so heavenly too, if I do say so myself. It's unfortunate she's going to jail now. I see. Has she ever once made something other than scones and jams for the choir? No, just those. Oh, we love tea breaks, so food is often a topic of conversation. Elisa's scones have never failed to please. Thank you. You were a great help. We said our farewells to her before leaving. What is it, Marple? Are you concerned about her scones? Yes, a little. Angie brought them up rather frequently. And she told me about them as well, saying Elisa's clotted cream perfectly complemented them. And that's correct. How do you feel about Rufus? I don't believe he's lying. His gaze was true. There's no uncharacteristic sweating. He had a clear and concise response. Like, actually really like Marple. She's kind of entertaining.
Above all else, he fully admitted to visiting Angie's room. Part of me does feel uneasy with Angie lying to me to protect him. He did sneak into a girl's dormitory after all.
I suppose it's romantic. He's gone out of his way to see her, even breaking the rules for her. And when she's ill, she must feel happy to have someone like him. Like, her eyes are not nearly as fucking giant and derpy as ours. I mean, like, her eyes are giant, but why does she not look as stupid as we do? I don't know. Anyway.
I wish I could understand. I can only think of the risk that comes when breaking the rules.
That's one way to see things. Marple must not have any interest in love. So I'm thinking the little Marple ending is like best friends ending, and not like a romancy path. Kind of interesting if it was a romancy path, but with nothing more to debate on the issue, we returned to the Baker Street office. May I ask who's there? It was the second time we had visited in a day, and what a busy day it had been. Good afternoon again. Is it all right if we come in and talk for a bit? What's this? Back so soon, Miss Whitley. Was she here earlier? You never told me, Holmes. And the point of that would be? Forget it. What do you need this time? Well, make yourselves comfortable. Make yourselves comfortable, lasses. We're not going to do that, but it'd be fucking hilarious. Watson sported a welcoming grin as he opened the door for us. I'm not some jack of all trades. This won't be as easy as you... Leave it to me, then. It's hardly difficult to examine medicine. Watson abruptly cut Holmes off, earning a nasty glare in turn. I love his fucking, like, the fucking fur trim, like, coat that he's wearing. Like, it's just so fucking... And he's so, like, down-to-earth, like, normal dude, and he's like, look at me in my fanciness! It's like he's a fucking earl in some kind of, like, vampire mansion. Like, what the fuck? I love it. I love it, but I'm just saying. What's an abrupt... Okay, wait. And what reason do you have to do this? No questions asked. You may have nothing to do, but I have been inundated with... That's why I said to leave it to me. Now, with that sorted, have a seat and I shall dive into research. His father was a doctor, so of course he knows medicine, right? So, yeah. Thank you.
Permit me to accompany you.
Marple followed after Watson. I'm sorry to barge in twice in one day. There's nothing to be done now that you're here. From then on, Holmes and I shared silence. Oh, come to think of it. There was more for us to do than wait, I thought. I reached into my pocket for the shell I'd found in Angelica's room. I placed it there in a... can't read today. I'd placed it there in a rush since Marple wanted to leave. Holmes was quick to become curious. Miss Whitley, what is that? This? I'm wondering that myself. I fear I don't know what it is. May I? I wish to take a closer look. Please do. Here. I gave the shell to Holmes. It was such a tiny thing, but he still inspected it from every possible angle he could, flipping it around, feeling the texture of its surface, and tapping it. It's the shell of an apricot seed. That's all? When you break its shell, you'll find an apricot kernel inside. An interesting fact, a decomposed, unripe kernel can lead to prussic acid poisoning when mixed with gastric fluid. It's frightening to think of such a little thing as poisonous. Duh! Obviously when he says an apricot seed, so like she's been apricot poisoned. Okay. Because he said that before, like apricots, blah, blah, blah. Apricots can poison you. Like, don't eat that shit. Like, obviously, like the seeds and everything like that. Like some certain, like apple seeds are toxic to animals and everything. Like, I think humans would be fine unless you ate like a fuck ton of them, but you shouldn't eat the seeds. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but like, clearly when he said it's an apricot shell, and you're like, okay, she's poisoned by apricot thing. And he just explained it, and she's like, and she's not gonna, this is where, that's why I went, we should have been clued in, but she's not. Anyway, I concur, but it is possible to remove the poison. And there's even medicine in the East that makes use of the kernel. It all depends on how it's prepared. Anything can become a weapon if that's how you intend to use it. So a shell to an apricot seed, is it? Success! The test is complete. We can now safely conclude there isn't a drop of poison to be found in this medicine. Watson appeared from the back room, cheerfully shaking the small bottle, with Marple not far behind. Are there apricots in it? Yes, well, there you go. Because it's not poison. It's an apricot kernel, which can be poisonous.
I could find no error in his examination. He is well on his way to becoming a first-rate doctor.
I'm not. I'm on my way to becoming a first-rate detective, more like.
Thank you, Watson. Marple, Holmes informed me that this is the shell of an apricot seed. Where did you find this, Spacey?
In Angelica's room when we went to retrieve her medicine. I thought to take it with me since something about it struck me.
Its seed contains something that's rather poisonous, doesn't it?
Could she have broken the shell and mixed the kernel in with the jam?
But no one mentioned apricot jam, and it's not possible to extract poison from a ripe apricot.
It's been some time since the kernel was taken from the shell. The scent is long gone. But a fresh one smells quite good, similar to an almond. She said almond cream. Of course! An almond! Marple and I were of one mind, her face tensed.
If it's what we're thinking, then we must return immediately, Spacey. Are there still any scones left, Elisa?
I've got strawberry jam and clotted cream. How do they sound? Elisa, hands quivering, sliced a scone in half.
That sounds delightful. Thank you. I'm feeling a bit better, so I think I can eat some.
While scooping the clotted cream with a spoon, several knocks were heard from the door.
I'll get it.
Before Elisa could even turn the knob, the door had swung open on its own.
Hello again, Angie, Elisa. The air smells delicious.
Miss Marple? I accompanied her as she barged in.
Oh, whatever is the matter?
We're sorry to come in like this, but we have a good reason. The scent of warm tea, scones, jam, and clotted cream permeated the room. Are you having a cup of tea? Oh, and that cream smells just divine. May I have some? Pardon? But this is for Angie. Suspicious.
Let her have some, Elisa. I don't think I can finish it all, so I insist.
Totally did her voice really weird there. I don't know. A darkness manifested over Elisa. This darkness, this anxiety grew by rapid leagues in the seconds between Angelica's consent and Marple reaching out. Don't! She let out a shriek as she went to seize the cream from Marple's hand. It dropped with a clank to the floor. A clack to the floor. Why would she not? She's like, oh, okay. Then everybody dies. No one will know.
Why are you so opposed to her eating this?
She's in Marple's, I don't know. But because... She could not answer. Her eyes flickered to where she could not keep focus on any one of us present. Angelica remained perplexed as much as she was concerned, seemingly aware that she was the only girl with no understanding of what just transpired.
Sarah, what is it? Your face is like stone. And Elisa, you look terrible.
I'm so sorry. I put... Marple was the one to stop her.
I'd prefer if you didn't say. I don't want to hurt Angie.
Poor Marple. Marple leaned close and whispered, a chilling calm to her voice and to Elisa's ear.
How clumsy of me. Seems I've dropped your homemade clotted cream. This isn't like you at all. Still, if Elisa forgives you, then why shouldn't I?
Angie,
everything you made tastes so wonderful. I don't think there's anything in this world you can make that I wouldn't eat.
At first, Elisa was nothing more than awestruck. But soon her head was downward, expression masked by her fringe, with her shoulders beginning to shake. Elisa, what's wrong? She's probably been saying this for like the whole time, so how could you be such a horrible bitch and like try to kill your fucking friend over a nude? Like, oh my god, kill him, not her. I mean,
not to worry. She'll be alright after I take her outside for some fresh air.
She's poisoning someone. The two of us led Elisa to the door of entrance, leaving Angelica alone in the room.
I don't believe you ever gave this cream to the students in the choir. Rufus was your motivation, yes? We heard from him that the two of you used to be in a relationship.
Because I was the one who was seeing him first. I never thought a friend of mine would take him away from me. I loved him. I couldn't understand why he chose Angie over me. I can't stand how much regret I feel for introducing him to her. I never told Angie that I was seeing him, so perhaps I'm at fault, but I didn't imagine he would come to fancy her. For it felt like the first time, Elisa looked directly at us, eyes glossed over from tears that had yet to fall.
I could take him back if Angie were absent. That's what I told myself. I didn't think on it too hard in the beginning. I imagined how much easier it would be to get him alone when she was bedridden. And that didn't go as planned. She's all he ever talks about. Every single day she's been away, it's Angie, Angie, Angie. They just grew closer and closer. Still, that isn't enough. I knew I was wrong, but I couldn't stop myself. I couldn't. Elisa collapsed and broke into heavy sobs. Angie is a sweet girl, and she's innocent and bright, even to me. Had you spoke of the nature of your relationship with him, things might have gone a different route. You should know that with the route you chose, Angie may have died. No one in this world can stop two people from falling in love. By the time I considered talking to her, it was too late. How pitiful would I have looked when they were already in love. I knew I did something unforgivable. But please, please, please don't tell anyone about what I did. If Angie and Rufus knew about this, they would hate me. You're an attempted murderess, so I mean... But what you did was clearly attempted murder. Do you realize that? I didn't mean to. I didn't think that far ahead. Please, I'm begging you to keep it a secret. All she could do was cry some more, and beg. If my mother were to find out, she would grow ill with grief, and my father would whip my back till I could no longer stand. You'll be in jail, so we wouldn't do that. It's okay. I'd be arrested and imprisoned. You deserve it, and that's payment for what you did. Is that so difficult to understand? Please, please, please. I don't want to be arrested. Have mercy. Father, Mother. It was neither Marple nor I who broke the silence. Sarah, Spacey, could you please forgive her? Of all the people in the world who would first speak of forgiveness, it was Angelica, who was still in her nightgown. What? Angelica? How long have you been there? And you shouldn't be up. I'm sorry, Sarah. But I was so worried about Elisa. I heard everything. Angie. Angelica had dragged her weakened body down despite it working against her for every step. She stumbled as she approached Elisa, who lost the will to speak at the sight of her. She's one of my dearest friends. Everyone has another side of them, a good side and a bad side. And I'm still alive. Why, even a healthy person comes down with sickness at times. And that's true, isn't it, Sarah? This sounds like a mental illness that you have, Angelica, but okay. Marple looked down at the floor, lost for words. In the short time I'd known her, I'd never seen her look as unsure of what to do as she did now. The silence was almost too heavy for us to bear. Go. Me? Get out. Leave the door by the end of the day, and promise me that you will go somewhere far, far away from Angie and never come back. If you break that promise, I'll have Scotland Yard find you, and I'll tell Rufus what you did. Marple? I'm not an informant of any kind for the police, but you'd best leave before I consider being one. I understand. Please take care of Angie. She's a girl in high school. She could just pack her shit and disappear. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. But okay. I will. Elisa, take care. And do keep yourself in good spirits, all right? Yes, same to you. Thank you, Angie. And I'm truly, truly sorry. In the end, she couldn't choke back her tears as she said her goodbyes. She's like a 16-year-old girl. Where the fuck is she gonna go? Several days passed in a rush. At any rate, I'm so glad Angelica's all right now. I'm glad too. It seems she's even well enough to attend choir practice already. And yet, part of me can't help but feel like I stole her best friend. Marple. She said it in her ordinary matter-of-fact tone, but I could hear the sadness beneath. Excuse me, would you pretend you didn't hear that? As we walked through the halls, we could overhear enthusiastic chatter from the music room. Captain, let's try our parts again one more time. All right, shall we begin with the sopranos then? She still looks like death warmed over. It's essential that we have everyone's cooperation in time for the Christmas concert. Oh, we can do this now. We'll have to put everything we have into this since Elisa quit the choir. Let's put our backs into it. They all seemed full of life, as if they were having great fun. Oh, I've been meaning to speak with you again. Angelica had a spring in her step as soon as she ran towards us in the hall. And the two of you will be tending our Christmas concert, won't you? Of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And Sarah, I hope you haven't forgotten that promise we made. I'm sorry, promise? You said you would cook some of your homemade vegetable soup. I've been waiting ever since, but I can only wait so long, you know? But of course, soon then. It appeared that a weird light... Weird light. What the fuck, Spacey? I got no excuse for that. Anyway, it appeared that a weight... I saw the we and then the lifted, and it was like that weight had lifted became weird light. It appeared that a weight had lifted from Marple's shoulders as she watched Angie return to practice. Oh, how I envy her. She's living out her youth to its fullest and having all kinds of fun with club activities. Is it difficult for someone of the nobility to participate in club activities? Unfortunately. Listen, Spacey, there are more ways than one to live life to its fullest. For a start, since it's such a pretty day, what would you say to having a cup of tea whilst we listen to the choir? Her cheeks flushed as the corners of her mouth curled modestly. Did you bake scones by any chance? How did you know? I've got jam, cream, and tea. Well, how could I say no? I'll have one of everything, please. I was reminded of when I had visited Angelica once, alone, since I was worried about her after all that happened. Marple's name had come up in conversation. Sarah says when it comes to mind so directly that many... Sarah says what comes to mind so directly that many find her to be callous. But she's a keen sense for how others feel and is equally true to herself. I'm a bit unrefined and insensitive, you know? But Sarah's always taken the time to look after me. I know you and Sarah will become fast friends. I've not seen her smile the way she was when the two of you had tea together in forever. She must be so happy to be wearing such a beautiful smile. But could Marple really be so misunderstood? I hadn't intended to let that one slip. What is this about misunderstanding me? That would be a secret. Now, shall we lunch? As I reached for a scone... Don't! I felt an iron grip upon my wrist. Marple? Given recent events, my heart gave a bold thump. Spacey, I urge you to wipe your hands with this napkin before eating. You're always so thorough, aren't you? I should think so. I learned from my grandmother to always mind my table manners. Keep your hands clean and be certain to finish everything on your plate. Like before, Marple handed me a petite napkin. Angie is more engrossed in her club activities than ever. I miss her. If you miss her, then how would you like to look after me in her place? I'd love to learn all that you've learned. And I should like to keep having tea together with you like this, if it's all right. Well, I'll give it some thought. Marple elegantly wiped her hands and reached for a scone. With the case now solved, it was nice to be able to return to daily life again. And through the experience, Marple and I had grown a little closer as well. Every time they say that, I just think of like Danganronpa when it's like, I grew a little bit closer, so-and-so and I grew a little closer today. Like every time you have like the free time. It's exactly how I spoke with Pendleton that evening, as I always did. Thank you for dinner. It was very tasty. My lady, what's gotten into you? Pendleton possessed a dubious brow as he brought me milk tea. You declared with gumption that you would eat anything and survive, but here you are behaving true to the definition of elegance. Did you eat something rotten? I did not. I always behave like this. But I feel I've realized something from what's happened recently. How murder can be motivated even by the most petty of emotions. I thought that I should make a stronger effort to appreciate the meals prepared for me. It's something one normally takes for granted. Well, it appears you've realized two things. More than two. Ever since I've been attending the academy, I've discovered something new each and every day. And solved a mystery each and every 20 minutes. Literally. That warms my heart to hear. A good thing, too, is my heart was broken utterly upon sending you off. You? A broken heart? You're being dramatic. Far from it. I fear I may have understated my grief. I fucking love him.
Can we just marry our butler? Can we just, like, I'm sorry, the other boys are great, but I love Pendleton so fucking much. Oh, I heart Pendleton. Like, I just love him. He is such a drama queen. Oh, how can you leave me like this? I just want to get more and more over dramatic as I read him. I just love him so much. Oh my god. Why, on your first day of school, I suffered agony equal to that of hacking away at one's midsection and scraping out all viscera. I cannot imagine how painful that would be, so understated it will remain. He daintily sipped my milk tea. Oh god, he's great. I'm going to save this here, because this is like a good place to stop. So, you know what I hate, though? There is only literally, like, if you look at this, like, there's only, like, that's a quick save thing, but there's only, like, 40 save spots. That's not a lot. That's really not. We're going to have to start saving over our things, which is going to suck, but I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter because we can skip through and like whatever. Anyway, but yes, so I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.